Orientation is locked. Oh, okay. Maybe I can do some. There we go. Maybe I might be able to see. Live chat. Some messages and potential spam may not be visible. See live chat. Okay, well. This is Santos Rolon Jr. here, a.k.a. soldier of self-mastery, philosopher of everyday victorious living. I apologize for the beginning of the video here, the introduction, the few minutes. I apologize. It's been a few days since I've made a video. It's been some time since I've made a live video, which is a little bit different than just a recorded video, my friends. I'm in Stockton, California today. It's a beautiful day. The weather is awesome. Actually, every day is awesome. I had a few challenges coming back from a kind of a business trip from Willimantic, Connecticut. I had a chance to spend with I had some time, some great time to spend with family, observatory, some visionary work, some writing, and I feel like Lou Gehrig. If you know who Lou Gehrig is, and I'm quoting him, I'm not doing a perfect job, but I recall he said something like this: "Today, I'm the luckiest man alive." And I don't know if he said on this planet, but I'm saying I feel that way today. I am truly blessed, my friend, to be here in front of you. You don't know, you really don't know how blessed I am to be here, especially live, because it's been a while. There's a few things that I want to talk about in this video. I'm going to do my best to keep it at your best attention level. So hopefully you'll open up your mind, and maybe you're in a good area where you can think. I see somebody, I don't know who you are, but if you want to identify yourself, I may be able to do some some correspondence here. This is live, and I have the live chat turned on. So feel free to ask me a question, my friend. I'm going to share some things. I'm going to talk about my new book. It's actually going to be completely revised, pretty much. The title's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a really, really great book that you can look at and think about your life and help you to get to where you might want to be. And I say that very humbly. I say that very powerfully, because I believe in I believe in the life hacks that I'm using, and they've worked miracles. And I'm going to talk about these things here. Brian D, how are you? You know what, Brian? Thank you for asking, man. I appreciate you asking. You know, I'm doing super fantastic, terrific, and over the top, my friend, in spite of and because of. That's how I'm doing. I had a little bit of a challenge coming from Connecticut to California. I was on a business trip. My trip got delayed. We had some issues with American Airlines. But you know what? I was just thinking, before I get into my book, and again, I'm not going to make this a very long video, so I'm hoping that many will come on board and will you know, they'll basically challenge me a bit. By the way, how are you doing? Let me ask you real quick before I proceed, Brian. How are you doing, my friend? What's happening in your life? Would you like to share openly for the world, because anybody can see this video, what is on your mind? And I welcome you, and I challenge you to pick my brain. I say this in my videos all the time, right? That's what it's about. It's about challenging, provoking one another unto love. Now, we're going to talk a little bit, if I don't get a response here from Brian or anybody else that comes on for that matter, we're going to talk a little bit about addictions and self-mastery here. We're going to talk about self-mastery and addictions and the power that you own, that you have, that you might not even be aware of. And the reason is because maybe you have not exercised it. And so maybe your understanding is limited. So I'm going to respond to the question here. Let me see if I can respond to this question. I see. Thank you for. Wow. I'm going to buy your book this weekend. Brian, hey, thank you, Brian. I'm well, keeping it positive every day. That's a job, isn't it, my friend? Keeping it positive every day, it's a job, man. And you know what? If you're organized to the best of your ability and you have your things in order, you may not have a, it doesn't mean that you live perfectly. It doesn't mean that you have, but when you're organized, when you are completely organized and you know where your things are and you can find things and you kind of have direction for your life, doesn't that make a difference? I mean, it makes common sense to me, man. Oh boy, time's going by, man. I'm trying to see what it truly is, man. Yeah, yeah. So Brian, here's the thing. I don't mind changing the video. I don't mind changing the structure of the video if it's interaction with you, because I would prefer that than just me talking, my friend. Sound good? It's up to you, man. Throw me some questions. I'm a little bit scattered. Sometimes I refer to myself as being unorthodox, but what I started out talking and what I wanted to say in this video really is, would you trade your addictions? If you could trade your addictions, and I'm not just talking about gambling here. I'm talking about, in your life what you may be struggling with, right? I can't tell you what you're struggling with. I can share with you what I'm struggling with, right? But it's not really important what I'm struggling with. It's the fact that I am struggling, right? If I am, but what's really important is that I'm overcoming. I live under a possibility mindset. I live under I conduct myself every day as a soldier internally in my mind to be able to live like I say, a super fantastic, terrific, over the top day daily. I mean, it's work. It's fun work. In the beginning, it's not easy. I refer to it as a life hack. But I say this often in my videos and in my book. Brian, here's what I wanted to say. Anyways, don't purchase my book yet, because it's going to be at least a couple days. The new revised version. I mean, there's an older version. I had to get a proofreader. I have to get an editor. There's work behind putting a book together, man. I've been working on another book for 2 years. That's a bigger book. But for right now, I'm doing what I can. You know what I mean? And I see another question here. Let me see what's going on, brother. I'm always gambling. That's my problem. I have a hard time breaking the cycle. What did you replace it with? Brian, that's a great question. That's a great question. In fact, I'm unorthodox, right? I'm not like the average psychologist. I'm not like the average doctor out there or counselor. I'm just not like, we all shouldn't be average. We should be way above average. But there's a lot of people out there that basically do the same thing. I do my thing, right? And I'm unorthodox. That's why I share the way that I share. Now, you're asking me a question. Let me get back to this question here, because what did you replace it with? What did I replace? What did I replace? By the way, there's a second person on here. Welcome aboard. You know what? We're talking about addictions. We're going to talk about my new book for a little bit. I'm live. I'm taking questions. I'm willing to answer your questions. I want to know what's on your mind. I want to know what's going on in your world, my friend. Are you addicted? Are you having problems with gambling, with your anger, with your attitude, with your patience? I'm looking into the wrong area. Are you having problems with relationships? Are you having problems with yourself? I tell you, man, there was a point in time in my life where I was bound, man. I was in darkness, my friend. I made a few good decisions, okay? I'm not gonna beat myself up too bad, but man, it was decisions that I was making based on faulty belief systems. And when I came to the realization that I could believe the truth, which is an addiction that you can work on. You asked me, Brian, what did I trade? What kind of other addictions did I trade gambling for? Well, self-empowerment. I knew that if I could start building my character through self-empowerment, that I could overcome gambling, because I've learned that, right? And I understand a little bit about the mind. I've been through the military and boot camp. Your mind has to shift. You go through a process of what is it, 2 months, man, and your mind is different. They shift your mind. So I understand the power of the human mind. I was caught up, and I was just caught up in trauma. I had a lot of, when I was younger, I witnessed and I experienced emotionally and physically a lot of violence, right? And when you experience those things, you look for escapes. It's kind of the fight or flight trigger in your mind mechanism. As a boy, I didn't understand any of that. So I was operating on faulty belief systems, and I was doing things. I was doing a lot of bad things that could, some of those things almost cost me my life numerous times. So I've replaced my habits, and I'm getting into my book, my friend. This is stuff that I'm going to share with you is going to be in the book. It's going to be a great book, my friend. I hope you'll buy a copy, maybe, and buy a second copy and give it to somebody. Anybody that has addictions, anybody that needs to be encouraged and motivated, in a short book, a little manual, if you will, little segments that you can read, easy to read. Now you'll be the determining factor on what those exercises, or let me see, what the exercises or the life hacks in the book can do for you. You would have to be the determining factor in that. Obviously, you have to read it, right? What I've done in my experience is going to be totally different than yours. I've watched your other videos as well. Yeah. Brian, the truth is the book available as a hard copy? Yes, it's actually a soft copy book. Right now, it's just temporarily paused. I mean, you might be able to get a copy of the older version if you want, but I would just encourage you to just hold on. In fact, if you do purchase the book, I definitely want to stay in touch with you, my friend. I want you to join my subscription list, and we've got some great things. My friend, we've got some great things coming on, man. I remember a couple years ago when I was struggling and I started talking about my website. I started talking about my studio. I started talking about my t-shirts. I started talking about coaching. None of that stuff was happening, my friend. I was struggling. A couple years ago, I was struggling, man, gambling. And I had other addictions that don't necessarily have to be something that you ingest into your body. You can have a bitterness addiction. You can have an addiction of anger. You can have an addiction of depression. Those are addictions too. They become habits. So I just traded all of those for the ones that I'm using now, my friend. I hope that answers your question. If you want to get deep about that, we can, but I don't think I'm going to really have on the air. We would have to kind of just do a conversation. Well, not a conversation, but I call it a mind shift session. All right. Is the book available as a hard copy? Well, I answered that. My book is on Amazon Kindle, but right now it's paused. It's paused because we're redoing it completely. It's going to be awesome. I'm telling you, my friend. Welcome aboard, Mastis. Hope I'm saying this right, man. It looks like you. Hey, this guy that just came on, it looks like he's got a little bit more than I do. I don't know. Maybe he does. I like working out too. So, peace. How are you feeling, brother? God bless you. You know what? I'm doing super fantastic, terrific, over the top, in spite of and because of my friends. That's the mindset that I take with me every single day before I even wake up, or fall off a bed, or roll over, or jump out of bed. That's where I'm at, my friend. I've learned how to use life hacks, simple. Well, some of them are simple, I'll admit that, and tap into my inner self, God's grace in my life, and I've really been able to become the person that I never knew I could become. And it's just getting better and better. So all these things that I was prophesying, that I was saying, that I was just, and I traded those addictions for all of those things, and now I've accomplished many of those goals, which is cool. They've come to happen. what you wish for, my friend, and what you want, if you truly want to break an addiction, you can do it. You can do it. As long as you have a desire, something that's stirring you, saying, I want to change, I want to change, you can do this. But you got to have, and I'm growing, my friend. I've, you know what? I don't even know exactly what, a year ago, 6 months ago, I don't even know how I got myself free. All I know is I was using all of these rituals on myself, reading, journaling, electronic affirmations, if you will. What else was I doing? I just started doing mirror talks. Just little rituals, man, that they excite me, man. They do it to me, and I'm learning it from other people. So if these things work, I share it. So yeah, I was 40 plus years when I think about it. About 30, I would say probably between 30 to 35 years of on and off problem gambling, my friend. And then 40 years, 45 years of just living a life. Actually, no, I started finding myself at the age of 47, 48. And I'm 52 years young today. So that's what I've done. I've traded my addictions, and you can do the same thing. So if we, if like I'm speaking to one of, by the way, I don't know who you are. There's somebody else on here. Thank you for coming on board. I didn't expect to be on here 16 minutes, but I'm willing to answer any question that's presented. And I've got a lot on my mind because I've been writing a book. Over the last week, I've got my brain just full of pieces of information, but I'm willing to answer. Okay, let me get into this here. These are a couple things that you're going to find in my book. A couple of things that I'm going to replacing one addiction with another one. From negative addictions to positive addictions. Let me ask you a question while I'm here. Why are you gambling? Why are you gambling? Why do you gamble? Why do you smoke? Why do you drink? Why does Santos get in front of the camera and talk to people live around the world? Willing to accept criticism, willing to accept constructive criticism. You know why? Because I believe in the digital coaches that have helped me, like Jim Rohn, Anthony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, my parents. The difficulties in my past have actually shaped me to become the person that I am today. And you know what? Like Lou Gehrig, I feel like I'm the luckiest man alive because of where I've come from. You know, when you're in darkness, when you're in blackness, and you don't have any idea, and then people start throwing some life rafts your way, the rope, when you're sinking, and you start grabbing, and then next thing you know, you start applying those things, and you come out of that slump that you were in, that hole, that cave of darkness. You want to shout every single day, man, I'm going to make it a super fantastic, terrific, over the top day daily, my friends. That's what I want to share with other people. I can't change you. I can't change anybody. I can't make anybody do what they don't want to do. But my job is to make myself more valuable so that when I get around people, they feel valuable. You know what I mean? Isn't that a cool thing where you're so valuable of a person in yourself? You know who you are. You respect yourself. You know where you're going. You know where you've come from. You have a plan. It may not be perfect, but it's a plan. And it's been working, man. Value. And you pour yourself into other people. That's what caused me. In fact, I remember saying a couple of years ago, somebody said to write a book. I'm like, write a book, man? I'm just barely making videos on YouTube. I did not want to write a book. Today, I'm enjoying writing like it's a gift. Like it's on the inside. It's a bit challenging at times. But man, when you find those things in your life, you're going to trade those addictions in a heartbeat. Those addictions that you have. You see, most people don't stop to think. They don't stop to sit down. Most people wouldn't watch this video. So I congratulate you, man. You know what? I appreciate you for being here live with me, and I'm waiting for some more questions. I don't just want to talk. I can share some marvelous things, what's happened over the last few days. You know, we've got a podcast coming. Me and my partner, we're going to be doing a really great motivational podcast. It's already there. We gotta get together and do some work, you know, obviously to get our sound out there. But I'm excited. For those of you that are watching me, that follow me, I would encourage you to sign up, share these videos, be a part of something big, my friend. I mean, Soldiers of Self-Mastery is not just a small one-time deal. This is going to be, I'm believing this thing to grow huge. I want people to be empowered. I want people to know who they are. I want people to know where they're going in life. And I want people enjoying the fuel, right? The fire that comes from having a dream. Something that you feel passionate about. Something that drives you right past all the mistakes and bad times and difficult people and scorpions and vultures and all these kinds of things, man. Whew, I'm excited. I see somebody presented a question. Let me check it out here. But I found you when I searched for help on YouTube. It started with loss in the family, and I've attached myself to... Let me see. It's nice to find someone who is in a similar situation. Well, yeah, we're all challenged. I mean, I could tell you stuff that I go through every single day that I share with my partner, and he says, man, you know, you're a strong guy. And I said, well, you know, I thank you for telling me that. I guess what I've done to myself works. So I'm going to continue sharing, you know. I'm going to continue sharing. But some of this stuff is going to be in my book. Will it make a difference if you know why you gamble? Do you think it will make a difference in your life if you know why you do something? You may not know right now why you do this certain behavior, right? You may not have a complete understanding, a full conscious awareness of that. But, you know, when you have an understanding of something clearly, and it kind of gives you options. You know what I mean? I hope if I'm not making myself clear, my friends, please stop me and say, hey, Santos, can you elaborate on what you're sharing? I don't quite understand. I'm open, my friend. There's always room for, let me see how I can say this. There's always room for improvement within room for improvement, my friend. Life is a series of answers. At least a series of positive or reminders, not answers, reminders. So, what if you find that your reason is something that you can fulfill some other way? Kind of like along the same lines as what I'm talking about there, right? What if you find that your reason, I've scribbled, I'm sorry. What if you find that your reason is something that you can fulfill some other way? Would that help you? There's a fourth person on here, and I hope this continues to grow. I'll stay on here live for as long as I need to. If you have a question about addiction, you want to succeed in life, maybe you got a business, my friend, and you're stuck, and you want to take that thing to the next level. You got a business, you're doing successful, but you want some more, and you come across this video. We can get together, we can do a mind shift session, and I would love for you to pick my brain. And I'm not going to give you the answers, I'll tell you that much. But I guarantee I will help you bring the answers from within you, because it's not important that you listen to what I say. I'm sharing with you, right? What I'm sharing, these life hacks, these experiences, all of these things, this is my life, right? I'm sharing it to give you hope that you can find through what I'm sharing, your own little tricks and life hacks. And, you know, as you learn from what I'm sharing, you can apply that and mold it and make it adapt to you. So, of course it would make a difference, by the way. Of course. Now, let me see what I said. Now, I find that there will never be a right time or feeling to dig inside. Actually, the right time and the right feeling is today. It's right now. Would you agree with that statement that I made here? In other words, if you want to do something, you want to do it now because you know that you should do it. Most people would, they're waiting for something. They're waiting for like a I don't know, whatever it is that they're waiting for. I used to be involved in church, and I still believe in the Bible. I read the King James Bible. I meditate on that all the time. I pray. I'm a believer in God. But the Bible, let me see, I'm kind of getting off track here. People that are waiting for something, I've heard even so-called Christians say, well, I'm waiting on the Lord. I'm waiting on the Lord to deliver me from Egypt, from this bondage. There's a fifth person on here. I want to thank you for coming on board. I'm not reading a teleprompter. I'm speaking from my heart. We're talking about addictions. We're talking about mindset. We're talking about becoming the most valuable person that we can become today. Would you like to become more valuable in all of those areas of your life? I'm not going to tell you how to do it. You know the way. I can encourage you, my friend. By the way, a lot of what I'm sharing with you is going to be in my book. And my book is not a very long book. So if you want to identify yourself, who you are, my friend, there's a live chat going on here. If you've got a question that you want to ask me, if there's something that I'm sharing with you that you find is wrong, let's talk about it. I'm here to answer. I'm not just here to talk. Man, 26 minutes, guys. You know, my time is valuable and so is yours, right? What are we doing here? What are we doing with this time that we're on? What is Santos, soldier of self-mastery, philosopher of everyday victorious living, doing? What is he doing here with his live time? What is his motive? My motive is your ultimate freedom, my friend. Your ultimate freedom. And only you know what your ultimate freedom is. You have a choice. You have a choice, my friend. So there is no right time. You're not going to get some feeling. The Lord's already told us, go and sin no more in the Bible. Go and sin no more. We've already received the answer. I'm not trying to get religious on you here because I can talk a little bit about the Bible, but I'm not a Bible scholar. I thought about this. What does a company do when it encounters failure, right? When a business, a job, company encounters failure, what do? Well, I imagine they get a meeting together, right? They get a meeting together and they look, I would imagine that they look for the root of the problem. They're not going to look for who did it, this guy did it, no. What is the root of the problem and where do we go from here? What do we learn? I've learned a lot from my past failures. I've learned a lot from my past mistakes, from my addictions. Those were a part of my life. I've let them go. I accept the fact that they were a part of my life and I am today who I am because I went through those things. I have to... Let me see here. What does it say? Thanks again, Santos. Keep the faith, brother. Hey, thank you, Brian. Thank you. I'm going to do more lives, brother, so you're welcome to come back. And I'm going to finish up here in a little bit. Once again, my name is Santos Jr. I'm from Stockton, California. I was born in Puerto Rico. I was raised in the United States. I left Connecticut when I was 18. I went into the military. I was in the military for 8 years. I was operating on a bad map, false paradigms, a lot of lies, addictions, and I've been able to trade those addictions for new addictions. That's what my new book is going to be about, a little bit. There's going to be some life hacks. There's going to be my testimony, a little bit about my testimony, very short. It's a 35, 40-minute read book, but it's a manual that you can use over and over, and it will transform. I believe that because it's done it for me. So, remember to leave comments. Remember to leave questions. I try to answer every comment that I get on my YouTube videos, every one. I don't believe I've missed one yet, and if I have, I apologize. I want to know what you're thinking. I want to know what I can do to help you on the other side. I want to know what I can do. Let me know, and I'll do that. Subscribe to my email list. Stay in touch to our email list because we're helping one another, right? Subscribe. You'll get periodic emails. I believe we're doing it once a week. You get information about some things that are going to make your life a whole lot better, my friend. Just trust me on that. You'll thank me later on. So we'll see you. This is Santos Jr., a.k.a. Soldier of Self-Mastery, philosopher of everyday victorious living here in Stockton, California. What do I consider myself today? I consider myself a SE coach, right? I am a writer, a United States Navy vet, and a soldier of self-mastery. That's who I consider. Those are the things that I've traded my old man, my old flesh for. You see, and you have those gifts in your life. You have those abilities. It's almost like a mind game, my friend. You just got to know how to do it. So I'll see you at the very top, my friend, on my next video. Again, there's going to be some links below. You can connect with me, my personal weblog. You can follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever, if you want to do that. And we can always stay in touch. And there's great things happening, my friend.